Here's Neil. He's in Toronto. Good afternoon.
Hi, guys. Great show.
Thanks.
David, I know you've had a good run with some of the biotechs, but it's been really volatile the last few days. Do you guys hold Valiant? Would you consider buying it if it drops a little bit lower? And what are your thoughts in general about the biotechs?
Okay. So Neil, we had a view coming into this. It's been a great sector to be in. Pharma, biotech, healthcare devices, healthcare management companies all have been very, very strong. It's been a big growth engine in the market. Over the last few weeks, the group has broken down technically. We have stopped our way out of a vast majority of our positions. It's become a very small weight in the portfolio. I talk about how often in late stages of a decline, the leaders get shot, and the leaders have been shot. Especially companies that have been involved in roll-up strategies, which VRX is one of. So I think that often the last groups to break down may be the first to take over leadership as markets return to strength. We're going to have to wait and see that. So we have a list of names that we would like to be buyers of should things turn around. But at this point, you have to respect the fact that technically they're broken. So just be a little careful of the group in the very short run, and look for some technical improvement in the underlying group going forwards.
Valiant got up to about 350. Now it's down to 217. When did you manage to get out?
Yeah, so we got stopped at various prices. We still actually have a little bit of it.
Okay.
Because this sell-off came in light speed. It was over 4 or 5 days. Really took it on the chin. These are things that can happen. But I think that you're likely to see some strength coming out of this, but in the very short run, there's a political discussion, and we're in a weak market.
Here's Chris. He's in Hamilton. Hi there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. I'd like David's view on Magna, and I guess, it's dropped quite a bit. Has it been unduly punished because of Volkswagen, or has the rose sort of come off the bloom for auto parts? And I guess, would he be adding to his position, or would he be looking to get out of it on strength? Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris.
So let's talk auto parts as a whole, right? Europe has been weak. We had this Volkswagen news. So you got a combination of a weak market and the biggest auto company in the world winding up in some hot water. Magna's made comments that Volkswagen should not have a significant impact on their earnings, but it wears the halo. It's in the auto group, and they have big business in Europe. So this whole group has come under pressure over the last few weeks. So I would be reticent about stepping in right now until we see, again, some stabilization in markets, stabilization in the group. Magna as a company is inexpensive relative to its peers. It has a great balance sheet. It has lots of flexibility to make acquisitions, which could be coming in a market like this. And an ability to buy back shares and take on debt if they needed to. So as a company, I think it's great. The neighborhood, we need to see some improvement before you step in and start buying more shares.
We had a tweet from S. Bucks Nathan T. on Magna. Hope that helps you out. Neil's in Oakville. Next, hi there, Neil. Go ahead.
Oh, there. I'd just like your technical opinion, David, on Costco. Seems to be working out pretty well here, and I've got earnings coming up today, and just needed your thoughts, and if you could just give me a thought on the Canadian dollar as well.
Sure. So if I had to pick a group within the consumer discretionary area, leisure and travel is one. We may talk about one later, but retail is another that I really like. And of the bricks and mortar companies, some of the discounters are very attractive. Dollarama in Canada, Costco in the U.S. Technically, this stock's been rallying against a market that's been getting creamed. So it's in a strong group. It's a strong stock within the strong group. They're coming off having exited some business, but ultimately, I think that this is one that's likely to put up some pretty good numbers. The way the stock's trading coming into the earnings, it's trading stronger than 85% of the stocks in the S&P 500. I'd be a buyer of this stock. I prefer the internet retailers. We'll talk about one today.
Okay.
But this group is really attractive. You could also look at the ETF RTH, which will get you a basket of the retailers, which also is very attractive.
All right, there's another idea for you, Neil, in Oakville. We also had a tweet from @OldButSmart on that company, and we hope that helped you out with those comments from David. And as we discussed a little bit, Costco out with earnings after the closing bell today. We'll take a break and get back to questions for David Burrows after this.